This is problem 10 from Chapter 2 of the CFA Institute's textbook, Corporate Finance, A Practical Approach, 2nd edition. Shirley Shea is evaluating an investment proposal, found its payback period is 1 year. So whatever the initial investment is, you get exactly that much in year 1. It's got a negative NPV. As long as the discount rate's greater than 0, I would expect the negative NPV because the present value of the amount you receive at year 1 is going to be less than its nominal amount. Now let me demonstrate that. If we put the time period here and then the cash flows, and make all this center it up, let me come up with an example. At time 0, let's say I spend $100, and then in year 1 I get $100 back. That means that the payback period is exactly 1 year. And if I do the calculation on this, let me pick a discount rate. I'll pick a cost of capital or a required rate of return. I'm going to just use 10%. The present value of the future cash flow at 10% is going to be less than 100, and the initial outlay is going to be the undiscounted 100. So with my example here, I've got a payback period of exactly 1 year, and I've got a negative NPV. But the problem also says it's got a positive IRR, and I won't have a positive IRR here. The IRR will actually be 0. All right, if you get back exactly how much you put in, your IRR is going to be 0. Your rate of return is 0. All right, so let me add another year to this. Well, let's say I made $1 in the year after that. I do the NPV, and this is C11 to C12 now. So slightly higher NPV, but it's still negative. But now my IRR is going to be positive. Now, it's not very positive, but it's positive. I'm going to put a slightly larger number. That might be easier to read. So it's earning 9%. The net present value is going to be negative as long as the IRR is less than the required rate of return. Okay, so if the required rate of return is 10%, then unless I can bring in enough money out here to exceed a 10% rate of return, let me put in 50. Notice that at $50, when I discount that, that takes it down to, or that takes the present value of this $150 to $132, and the IRR is greater than the required rate of return. If the required rate of return is 9.16%, notice that by definition, when the IRR and the required rate of return are identical, that's the break-even on your net present value. So anyway, back to where we started. To put together an example, I have a payback period that is still 1 year. It takes 1 year to get your money back. I have a negative net present value, and I have a positive IRR. So is this possible? Absolutely. Now the others are because a project with a positive IRR has a positive NPV. No. You have a positive NPV only when the IRR is greater than the required rate of return. And a project with a rapid payback has a positive NPV? No, it doesn't. All right, in fact, I can make this less than 1 year. Okay, so you get your money back in less than a year. So it would take most of the year, but not quite a full year, to get your money back, and I still have a negative net present value. All right, but taking it back to my original example then. All right, we meet all the requirements there.